Just got back from a mission. Piss mission. Drove over to Grand Rapids, where my niece had just flown in from the West. My niece from the West. And with her handsome young husband and my second brother's son, his second son, my nephew, he had called me and said, oh, look at that. Siete? Oh, Siete. Oh, there he is. Oh, that's it. He called to tell me she was coming in and they were having dinner. So I met him in Grand Rapids before they headed north. And had dinner with him. A fine time. My beautiful young niece, her handsome husband, manly man, and my other nephew, her cousin, manly man, and his beautiful young woman, the girl that's perfect for him. They were all there. We had dinner last night. My mission was one about seeing the people, my people. Went out to see them. And then I headed down to Kalamazoo. That's where he was coming from. He's coming from Battle Creek. But he was in Kalamazoo when I was there. And so we all came from different places and met there. And I went down and saw some old friends. I went down to Kalamazoo and stayed there last night. Saw a couple of my old neighbors who were really good friends, the best, you know. So many best friends. And as I pulled in there, I hadn't been there in almost a year and a half, closer to a year and a half than a year because it's past a year. And it was like walking through some place as I pulled in there that you'd walk through in your youth. And then when you come back as an adult and walk through there, you look at it and say, look at how it's all gone to hell, how it's all overgrown, how nature takes everything back. And the Siete wants down. Siete, follow my arm. Oh, well. So, yeah. And it's just amazing because when I lived there, these are neighbors up the hill from me, up on the hill, across the road. And I was stuck down in that hole. And I don't know what the hell he wants to do. So I was stuck smoking my cigarette and drinking my beer and watching a wall of ugly vegetation go wild, and I decided I was going to tear it up. If I had to sit in that hole and look at a wall of vegetation, I was going to make it beautiful and green. And so I was pulling all the weeds and all the trees that were growing and letting the vinca grow up beautiful, and it was all just getting I'd do it in the spring and I'd do it in the fall, and I'd rake all the dead leaves and I'd pull up chunks and take out stuff with roots and everything else. I was making something beautiful out of it. And cruising through there, I looked at it, walked up, and I said, I let it go. And I looked at the poor tree outside, and there's been no pruning. She knows from me that Sometimes the things I do can hurt a little bit, but it will, I'm talking about that poor tree outside, pruning. But she looks good and feels clean, and sometimes pain is pleasure type of thing. And that's gone out of control. It's just this landlord. Let everything go. The kind of guy that every time, what I was doing is something you would say they don't pay you enough for that, but I wasn't doing it for anyone but me, because of the color green and the peacefulness, why you can watch golf on radio, on TV, and it's peaceful for some reason. It's all that green, whereas pink, I was told, is very peaceful in the beginning and very contented, very calming. But if you look at it too long, it will drive you apeshit and piss you off into madness, which is funny because that's the color they give to girls. It's right to get rid of the pink. And the blue, what's that make, man? Just sad and quiet. But yeah, this guy just wanted something green and beautiful down there, and it was really coming around until he started screwing me around. Every time he screwed me around on something that I found offensive, I took something away, stopped doing it. And one of the last years I was there, he's like, "Aren't you gonna do anything about that hill?" And I said, "Nope. Letting the milkweeds grow." I said, "I decided this year," because nobody was paying me. I was doing what I wanted on somebody else's property, actually. But I said, this year, I'm letting the milkweeds grow, because then the butterflies will come. And my opinion is that a place with butterflies is a place of peace. And everything he ever screwed me around, I took away a little bit. And it reminded me of the first time I met him. I was sleeping 10:30 at night, and I hear bang, bang, bang. I thought it was a bum in the damn Herbie trash dumpster thing that you take out to the curb. And then bang, bang, bang. I'm just like, shut the hell up. And I looked out and I saw somebody, they were remodeling downstairs. And it was right after he bought the place. And the lackey was throwing heaps of stuff into the trash, Siete. And I went down there, I was just like, you woke me up. I had to be up early. And he's trying to introduce it. I come up to him, and he came around the corner. I said, "What the fuck is going on?" This is the landlord. And he says, "Oh, hi." He tried to introduce himself, and I'm like, "I don't care who you are." This is the first time I met the landlord, new landlord. And I said, "I'm trying to sleep. It's 10:30. I didn't realize it was that late. I said, "It is." And so we got off to a start where he likes regulations, and he really likes his contract. So we went back and forth with contract stuff, and it feels like I did all right. But I went and saw my people, and we heard gunshots in Kalamazoo, and we both looked and said, now that was real. Sometimes you mistake it for fireworks, but if you're pop, 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 just like that, and you go, both of you go, yeah, that's, Kalamazoo's a great place. It's just too bad we found it so entertaining that we saw things the same way while somebody was suffering down there and dying, and that was the only time I didn't hear an ambulance. And yeah, they're going by constant.